What, in your view, makes Karlach specifically stand out from the rest of the companions that Tav can play with?
Not an edgelord. On fire.
Yep.
Quite angry. But a sweetie, really. Red button princess. Good aligned. A lot of them aren't, or they're neutral. The way I saw it is that she had a second chance. That was my little secret, is that she'd been a bit of a nightmare in hell, because you'd have to be, right, to get on. You're just not going to be going around doing good at all. But I sort of gave it a prison analogy, because I could relate to that rather than, you lived in hell for 10 years and didn't die, that I couldn't do that. But the idea that maybe you got out early and you're getting this second chance, what are you going to do with that time? And then realising that she's on borrowed time in this new world where the heart's not working so well. How does that affect things? And she just becomes this sort of carpe diem, like, I'm going to live quality. If there's not quantity, I'm going to make sure that this is worth something. And what a message, what an interesting thing to ponder when you're playing a video game. So she's really powerful, like mythologically very powerful.
I think there's a wonderful tragedy to her as a character, because, as you say, like, she is sort of fun and stuff like that, but as you peel back more and more layers, you realise there's
PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I met a lot of military folk who see themselves in her, who will be cracking jokes, because that's the way you get through this stuff. To people with terminal illnesses, you say that's been a comfort character, which you don't go in thinking that's going to happen. You just play them as true as you can, and it all made sense. But that's incredible to be able to do that for people.
What part of her character do you personally identify with, other than the rage?
All the cool stuff. I mean, she's really ride or die, like beyond me. If there's evidence that I've made a bad decision, I'll wind that back. But she, you can dark urge romance her, and she's like, that's cool. So, we've all done bad stuff. We saw the whole dialogue where, like, dark urge has to tell her that they were told to kill her and held back, and she's like, we've all done bad stuff. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm not sure I would do that. If I could get away with vigilante justice, I would.
Okay,
obviously, I'd never be wrong.
Would you wear a costume?
No, I'd be 7 foot tall.
Fair.
And people are scared.
On fire.
So I'd be like, I'm friendly, really, that sort of thing. I'm trying to think. I guess she gives everybody a chance. She doesn't judge a book by its cover until, like, they give her a reason. And that's very me. I give everyone a chance until they give me a reason to treat them like the dickhead that they are.
Hopefully I don't give you that chance. What?
You're fine. For now.
What for now? What is your favourite scene that you can remember?
I mean, the one that got a lot of attention being the post-Gortash fight, because I knew that was coming. I knew that was really, for me, that secret is the centre of her character. And so everything else she was doing, all the jokes and making herself out to be more stable than she was, that was all covering that up. So once the doors were blown off of that, she doesn't get that closure after he dies, then we could just let rip. And that was really cool.
You know this definitely, but Karlach is the most romanced character in the game.
I did not know that.
Statistically,
I feel certain other characters had a lot of publicity that Karlach hasn't, but thank you very much for that statistic.
Why?
Well done fixing that bug, because everyone was like, I couldn't do it. It was bugged. I don't know. Maybe they killed the tieflings in the grove because she's not cool with that.
Maybe.
And they do. They give shocked Pikachu face, and I'm like, no, it's not like those old games. You see, there's enough memory in games now that the characters will know what you've done and they will judge you for it. It's not Mass Effect anymore. As much as I love Mass Effect, you could just Captain Kirk your way around that.
You could punch someone in the face and then they'd talk to you in the next scene.
Yeah. Because it was contained to that scene, but it doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that anymore. But they have a memory. Why do you think, like, players connected with Karlach, other than the things you said about, like PTSD and things like that? Why do you think people chose her to be, like, the romance companion? Not
an edgelord. Because I think with some of the others, like they're very spiky, and they have reason to be, absolutely. But she's desperate to be touched and can't be, right? She's been on her own for 10 years, so she's quite up for it. Everyone's very attractive in this video game, and Pan, which is incredibly convenient for Tav. Yeah, she is sort of buried in dialogue, but she's someone who's never really had a relationship before. She's had a lot of one-night stands, and now, because of her condition, meaning she can't be touched, means she has to get to know someone a bit longer this time. She also is not in a situation where she's not over an ex, Gale. She's not. Some of the others are a bit touchy about this. As I said, she's sort of, single and ready to mingle.